Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to my multiplayer battle ethics video. All players start with a total war game to have fun, but inevitably in multiplayer, all players reach a point where they must decide are they going to continue playing for fun or for winning. Some players will choose to keep having fun, and winning becomes a secondary objective. The other players will choose to keep winning, and for them having fun will become secondary. Sooner or later, you will also find yourself at this crossroad. And today I will talk about battle ethics so you can have all the knowledge that I can give you to be able to choose a path that is right for you at that crossroad. Since Creative Assembly, as of today, 22nd of August 2013, has yet to reveal how the MP for Rome 2 is going to work, it is very safe to say that there will be no real changes from how Shogun 2 match-made battles work. For those of you who are new and those who might not know all the details, Shogun 2 multiplayer works by using Steam as a matchmaking service. Steam is simply put a pool from which players are chosen to battle each other. One of the players is always chosen as a host, and the other player is always his guest. The host's PC and his internet connection are what powers your match. At this point, Steam and the game itself are just silent observers. They no longer have any influence over your game and will only record the outcome. Now here's what you need to know at this point. 1. The game does not allow you to leave the pre-battle screen, but both the host and the guest can drop out from this battle. How is that achieved? By alt-tabbing from the game, right-clicking on your Windows network connection, and then choosing the option Disable. After a few seconds, Steam tells the game that the player is no longer online and the game kicks the player out of the match. This is called lobby dropping. There are two main reasons why people use this technique. A high-level player does not want to play versus a low-level player because he sees no fun or challenge in it. And B, a high-level player does not want to play against another high-level player because he might lose. 2. This next technique is called battle dropping. It is used by players who go into a battle but do not plan to lose it either way. The main requirement is that the player doing the battle dropping has to be the host. Once they see that their defeat is inevitable, they will, by using a number of software tools, some integrated into the Windows itself, stop the other players, the guests, connection to their PC. Once the winning player, the guest, is no longer connected to the host's PC, Steam and the game detect this as if the guest has quit the battle and award the victory to the remaining player, the host. 3. Leaderboards are part of the game that suffers greatly because of this. The programs running the leaderboards cannot make heads or tails of this kind of battle dropping, and errors creep into their programs. This then results with players losing ELO points which are responsible for their standings in the leaderboard. The players can lose 5 to 10, even 30% of their total ELO points, dropping sometimes from the first 10 players to being a 4,000th player. Some players have had this happen to them multiple times, and beginning with them having more than 60,000 ELO points and ending with them having 100. These are known bugs that were never and have never been fixed for Shogun 2. Even today, if you go onto the leaderboards, you will find players who are high up with no reason for them to be there, and players that are very low with no reason for them to be there either. Now let's say we finally get into an actual battle. Now once again you will have the problem of winning versus having fun. There are several strategies for players to choose from when entering a battle that will increase their chances of winning but inevitably decrease the fun they and their opponents can have. 1. Filling their army with units whose cost versus benefit ratio is higher than other units. This is called an unbalanced unit or an OP, overpowered unit. Simply put, more bang for your buck. As players go into a battle with equal funds, so are units supposed to go into unit lists with equal cost versus benefit ratio. These balances issues are always fixed by Creative Assembly in patches, but the time between the discovery of an OP unit and a patch is the time of problems for players. 2. Unit spamming, more specifically, calorie spamming. Spamming means that a player is filling his entire army with one unit type, in this case, calorie. This brings in several problems into a battle. If the opposing player is not a calorie spammer himself, he will never be able to chase down all the enemy units if they choose to constantly retreat. potentially prolonging the battle indefinitely if the only way of ending the battle is a total annihilation of enemy's army. Another problem with a cav spam is that the battle engine currently in use for Total War games and on which Rome 2 is made allows for cavalry to run through enemy units when force commanded by clicking on the move order in quick succession. This then imparts a back attack morale penalty on the units through which the cavalry unit is running. If done on an army scale, you can rout the entire enemy army just by running your entire cavalry army through the enemy army, and the units will be hit by stacking morale penalties and the entire army will chain rout. 3. Camping. There are several ways of camping in Total War games. First is called Redline corner camping. The maps are always squares, whose boundaries are marked with a red impassable barrier. A player can choose any of the 4 corners and place his entire army in that corner, blocking off himself on 3 sides with the red line, while blocking the 4th, the remaining side, the only one that he can be attacked on, with spears and bow units. A variant of this camping technique is just plain red line camping, where a player will place his entire army along the red line, which will then make it impossible for his army to be attacked from behind. After red line camping, you have another form of camping. This is taking a defensive position on a hillside that is covered in forests, in which your units can hide with an army specifically designed for a defensive battle. If the battle objective is to annihilate the enemy's army, there are several things that can happen. If the other player had the same plan, the battle will last until one player gets bored and attacks or quits the game. This can take anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 hours. Players leaving the game running while going to sleep or work or school is not unheard of. Another possibility is that even if the other player had planned on meeting the enemy in open battle, seeing the enemy camp he will refuse to attack. Again, a never-ending stalemate. Then there are players who will attack no matter what. Some will win, some will lose, some will battle drop at the end if they are losing, some will curse in the chat, and some will just leave after the end. In each instance, however, the battle will leave a sour mark on the player. This is where the addition of capture points to 1v1 land battles was introduced by Creative Assembly in Shogun 2, showing that the developers did not intend for battles to be fought like this. The same can be expected to happen in Rome 2, but this time from the very start. So what you need to take away from all this? When you get an opponent in a match-made battle, welcome him with a hi or a hello. If he responds, write to him, have fun and good luck, or just HF and GL. That way, covering the both having fun and winning in your pre-battle salute. Play the game the way you decided for yourself once you reached your own personal crossroads. And don't forget to give your opponent a good game or a GG if he is worthy of it. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Stay tuned for more.